a WikiVidi documentaries production. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Enjoy. Royal Rumble, 2018. Royal Rumble was a professional wrestling pay-per-view event and WWE Network event produced by WWE featuring wrestlers primarily from the Raw and SmackDown brands, as well as surprise appearances from competitors on the NXT brand. It took place on January 28, 2018, at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. It was the 31st event under the Royal Rumble chronology, the first to include a Women's Royal Rumble match, and consequently, 2 Royal Rumble matches. 9 matches were contested at the event, including 3 on the pre-show. In the main event, Asuka won the first ever Women's Royal Rumble match, which was also the second women's match to main event a WWE pay-per-view, and the first to main event one of WWE's Big 4 pay-per-views. The men's Royal Rumble match was won by Shinsuke Nakamura. Other prominent matches included Brock Lesnar retaining the Universal Championship in a triple threat match against Braun Strowman and Kane, and AJ Styles retained the WWE Championship against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in a handicap match. The event was also notable for the surprise appearance of former UFC star Ronda Rousey following the women's match, officially confirming that she had signed full-time with WWE. Background. As is tradition, the winner of the 30-man Royal Rumble earned a World Championship match at WrestleMania 34 for his choice of either Raw's Universal Championship or SmackDown's WWE Championship. The event also hosted the first ever 30-woman Royal Rumble, in which the winner earned a Women's Championship match at WrestleMania 34 for her choice of either Raw's Women's Championship or SmackDown's Women's Championship. After Survivor Series, several women from NXT were promoted to the main rosters of both Raw and SmackDown. On the November 20, 2017 episode of Raw, Paige, who had been out with an injury since June 2016, returned along with the debuts of NXT's Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, forming the heel group Absolution, while similarly on the November 21 episode of SmackDown, NXT's Ruby Riott, Liv Morgan, and Sarah Logan debuted and formed the heel group the Riott Squad. On the December 18, 2017 episode of Raw, with a larger roster of women on the main rosters, Raw Commissioner Stephanie McMahon scheduled the first ever Women's Royal Rumble match for the 2018 Royal Rumble, with the winner receiving a match at WrestleMania 34 for the top championship of their choice, Raw's Women's Championship or SmackDown's Women's Championship. Both brands' respective commissioners and general managers agreed that the women's match would have all of the same rules as the men's match, including having 30 participants. Stephanie was announced to join the commentary team for the women's match, and television host Maria Menounos was announced to be the special guest ring announcer. Storylines. The card consisted of 9 matches, including 3 on the pre-show, that resulted from scripted storylines and had results predetermined by WWE on both the Raw and SmackDown brands. Storylines were produced on WWE's weekly television shows, Monday Night Raw, SmackDown Live, and 205 Live, the latter of which is Cruiserweight exclusive. For the first time, the card was highlighted by 2 Royal Rumble matches. On the October 16, 2017 episode of Raw, Kane returned from a 10-month hiatus and helped Braun Strowman to defeat Roman Reigns in a steel cage match. Kane was then added to Strowman's team at TLC, tables, ladders and chairs in the 5-on-3 handicap tables, ladders, and chairs match. During the match, Strowman accidentally hit Kane with a chair, which caused Kane to later turn on him and crush him in the back of a garbage truck. Their team ultimately lost. The two then feuded over the next several weeks, leading to a match on the December 11 episode to determine the number 1 contender against Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship at the Royal Rumble, but the match ended in a double countout. Raw general manager Kurt Angle then decided that Lesnar would defend the title against both Kane and Strowman in a triple threat match at the event. On the January 8 episode, Kane attacked Lesnar from behind, followed by an attack from Strowman. After laying Kane and Lesnar out backstage, Strowman knocked over a lighting rig and crushed both. Lesnar was taken to a medical facility while Kane refused medical attention. Due to his actions, Strowman was removed from the triple threat match and fired by Angle. Strowman went on a rampage backstage, including destroying Angle's office and flipping over a tractor. Before he could do any more damage, Raw Commissioner Stephanie McMahon rehired Strowman, putting him back into the Universal Championship match at the Royal Rumble. At Clash of Champions, SmackDown's Commissioner Shane McMahon and General Manager Daniel Bryan both refereed a tag team match pitting Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn against Randy Orton and Shinsuke Nakamura, where Owens and Zayn would have been fired from WWE had they lost. During the match, there was controversy between Shane and Bryan, which resulted in Bryan giving a fast count for Owens and Zayn to win. Tensions between Shane and Bryan continued over the next couple of weeks, culminating on the final SmackDown of 2017, when Bryan scheduled Owens to face WWE Champion AJ Styles in a non-title match in the main event, much to the disapproval of Shane, who felt that Owens should not be in the main event, or facing the WWE Champion. That match ended when Zayn interfered, allowing Owens to win. The next week, Zayn would also defeat Styles in a non-title match after interference from Owens. Enraged at back-to-back losses, Styles stated they might as well schedule him in a handicap match against Owens and Zayn, which Bryan took literally and scheduled for the Royal Rumble, where Styles would also defend the WWE Championship against both men. On the January 9th episode of SmackDown, Styles said that although it was unfair, he was confident that he would win. Owens and Zayn interrupted and claimed that they would become the first ever co-WWE champions. On the final SmackDown before the Royal Rumble, Styles faced Owens and Zayn in back-to-back matches where Shane threatened that if one were to interfere in the other's match, that person would be fired. Styles managed to defeat Owens in the first match by submission, however, he would lose to Zayn in the second match. On the December 18, 2017 episode of Raw, Seth Rollins' tag team partner Dean Ambrose was injured by Samoa Joe. The following week, despite both wanting to take on Joe to avenge Ambrose, Raw general manager Kurt Angle instead had his son, Jason Jordan, and Rollins team up to face Cesaro and Sheamus for the Raw Tag Team Championship. Jordan and Rollins defeated Cesaro and Sheamus to win the championship. After the former champions confronted Angle about their contractual rematch, Angle scheduled it for the Royal Rumble. On the January 15th episode, Jordan caused a distraction, allowing Titus Worldwide to again defeat Cesaro and Sheamus in a rematch from the previous week, which Rollins disapproved of as he did not like Jordan acting on his own. Cesaro and Sheamus would try and return the favor during Rollins' match against Finn Balor, but it backfired, resulting in Rollins winning, and Cesaro and Sheamus brawling with Balor Club members, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, at ringside. On Raw 25 the next week, Jordan and Rollins were the guests on Christian's The Peep Show, which Cesaro and Sheamus interrupted, and the two teams brawled where Rollins accidentally hit Jordan with a knee attack that was intended for Cesaro. At Clash of Champions, the Usos retained the SmackDown Tag Team Championship in a fatal four-way match against Rusev and Aiden English, the New Day's Big E and Xavier Woods, and Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin. On the following episode of SmackDown, Gable and Benjamin defeated the Usos in a non-title match, and they were awarded with a championship match on the first SmackDown of 2018, where they defeated the Usos to initially win the titles after pinning Jimmy Uso. However, Jimmy was not the legal man, and thus the match was restarted and the Usos retained their championship. The following week, Gable and Benjamin confronted SmackDown general manager Daniel Bryan over the incident. After questioning if they should have to defeat the Usos twice in the same night, Bryan decided that at the Royal Rumble, the Usos would defend the SmackDown Tag Team Championship against Gable and Benjamin in a 2 out of 3 falls match. On January 26, 3 matches were announced for the Royal Rumble pre-show. For SmackDown, it was announced that United States champion Bobby Roode would have an open challenge for the title. 2 tag team matches were scheduled for Raw, a rematch between Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson and the Revival from Raw 25, and a 6-man tag team match for the Cruiserweight division, with Kalisto, Grand Metalik, and Lince Dorado against Drew Gulak, TJP, and Gentleman Jack Gallagher. Cancellations. 2 other matches had been promoted for the event, but were later removed. The first was the tournament final for SmackDown's then vacant United States Championship. Originally scheduled for the PPV, the finals were instead contested on the January 16 episode of SmackDown, where Bobby Roode defeated Jinder Mahal to win the title. The second was a championship match for the Raw brand where WWE Cruiserweight Champion Enzo Amore was scheduled to defend the title against Cedric Alexander. However, after Amore was suspended from WWE on January 22 due to allegations of sexual harassment and sexual assault, the match was cancelled. Amore was released the next day and the title was vacated. Pre-show. 3 matches were contested during the pre-show. In the first match featuring Raw's Cruiserweight division, Kalisto, Grand Metalik, and Lince Dorado faced TJP, Gentleman Jack Gallagher, and Drew Gulak in a 6-man tag team match. Kalisto performed a Salida del Sol on TJP to score the win. Next, also from Raw, the Revival faced Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. Dawson performed a chop block on Anderson to score the win. Finally, SmackDown's United States champion Bobby Roode issued an open challenge, which was answered by fellow SmackDown wrestler Mojo Rawley. Roode performed a glorious DDT on Rawley to score the pinfall and retain the title. Preliminary matches. The actual pay-per-view opened with AJ Styles defending the WWE Championship against Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn in a handicap match. In the end, Styles threw Zayn out of the ring and immediately Owens performed a super kick on Styles. Owens, who was not the legal man, attempted a pop-up powerbomb on Styles, who countered into a roll-up to retain the title. In a backstage segment, Owens and Zayn confronted SmackDown Commissioner Shane McMahon about the incident. However, after questioning if he saw what had happened, Shane smiled, replied, "Yep," and walked off. Next, the Usos defended the SmackDown Tag Team Championship against Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin in the 2 out of 3 falls match. Jimmy and Jay performed a double super kick on Gable, who was kneeling, to score the first fall. Jay then pinned Benjamin with a small package to score the second fall to retain the title. After that, the 30-man Royal Rumble match for a World Championship match at WrestleMania 34 was contested. Rusev and Finn Balor began the match as the first and second entrants, respectively. Baron Corbin eliminated Rhino, but was eliminated by Balor. Corbin attacked Balor, Rusev, and Heath Slater, who just made his entrance. NXT champion Andrade Cien Almas was a surprise entrant at. Ty Dillinger was scheduled to be 0, but was attacked backstage by Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, resulting in Zayn taking Dillinger's spot. Shinsuke Nakamura entered at 4 and eliminated Zayn. John Cena entered at 0 and eliminated Elias and the Hurricane. NXT's Adam Cole, another surprise entrant, entered at 3. Randy Orton performed an RKO on Almas and eliminated him after a near 30-minute run. Rey Mysterio, another surprise entrant, entered at 7 and eliminated Cole. Roman Reigns entered at 8 and eliminated Titus O'Neil. Reigns and Seth Rollins teamed up and performed a powerbomb on The Miz over the top rope to eliminate him, after which, Reigns immediately eliminated Rollins. Dolph Ziggler, making his return after vacating the United States Championship, entered at 0 and eliminated Goldust, but was eliminated by Balor. Reigns performed a Superman punch on Orton and eliminated Orton. Mysterio performed a 619 on Cena and Reigns, but was eliminated by Balor. Balor, Nakamura, Cena, and Reigns were the final 4. Cena eliminated Balor and immediately afterwards fought with Nakamura, who performed a Kinshasa on Cena to eliminate him. Nakamura attacked Reigns and attempted a Kinshasa, however, Reigns countered into a spear. As Reigns attempted to eliminate Nakamura, Nakamura countered, performed a running single-leg dropkick on Reigns and then eliminated Reigns to win the match. Afterward, Renee Young interviewed Nakamura and asked which world championship he wanted to challenge for at WrestleMania 34. He called out WWE champion AJ Styles, thus choosing the WWE Championship and staying on SmackDown. Next, Seth Rollins and Jason Jordan defended the Raw Tag Team Championship against Cesaro and Sheamus. During the match, Jordan sustained a head injury, rendering him unable to compete. In the end, Sheamus and Cesaro performed a white noise/diving neckbreaker combination on Rollins to win the title, for a record-setting 4th time as a team, and a record-setting 5th time for Cesaro individually. In the 5th match, Brock Lesnar defended the Universal Championship against Braun Strowman and Kane in a triple threat match. Kane performed a chokeslam on Lesnar, and Strowman attacked Kane. Lesnar struck Kane with a chair, only for Strowman to attack Lesnar with a running dropkick. After Strowman performed a chokeslam on Kane, Lesnar performed 3 German suplexes on Strowman. Strowman performed a running power slam on Lesnar through a table, only for Kane to break up the pinfall at a 2 count. Kane then threw Strowman through a table positioned in the corner, and performed a chokeslam on Strowman, with Lesnar breaking up the pinfall at a 2 count. Lesnar then performed an F5 on Strowman through an announce table and overturned another announce table on top of Strowman. Lesnar then performed an F5 on Kane through another announce table. Strowman performed 2 running power slams on Lesnar, but Kane returned and struck Strowman with a chair. Lesnar knocked Strowman out of the ring and performed an F5 on Kane to retain the title. After the match, an enraged Strowman yelled at Lesnar that he did not beat him. Main event. The main event was the first ever 30-woman Royal Rumble match for a women's championship match at WrestleMania 34. Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch were the first and second entrants, respectively. There were numerous surprise entrants throughout the match, including Hall of Famers Lita, Jacqueline, Beth Phoenix, and Trish Stratus, NXT wrestlers Kairi Sane and NXT Women's Champion Ember Moon, and past stars Tori Wilson, Molly Holly, Michelle McCool, Vicky Guerrero, and Kelly Kelly. SmackDown's Nikki Bella, who had been on hiatus since WrestleMania 33, and her free agent twin sister Brie Bella were also unannounced entrants. Banks, Asuka, Nikki, and Brie were the final 4. Banks, Nikki, and Brie attacked Asuka, after which, Nikki and Brie eliminated Banks. Asuka attacked Nikki and Brie, but Nikki performed a Rack Attack 2.0 on Asuka and then eliminated Brie. After a back-and-forth exchange, Asuka eliminated Nikki to win the match and earn a Women's Championship match at WrestleMania 34. After the match, Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss and SmackDown Women's Champion Charlotte Flair entered the ring. Before Asuka could make her decision for which title she wanted to challenge for, they were interrupted by the surprise appearance of former UFC star Ronda Rousey, officially confirming she had signed full-time with WWE. Rousey pointed to the WrestleMania sign and offered a handshake to Asuka, who refused. Rousey then shook hands with Raw Commissioner Stephanie McMahon as the event ended. The jacket which Rousey wore during this appearance belonged to lifelong idol Roddy Piper, whose son let her borrow it. Raw. On Raw the following night, Raw Commissioner Stephanie McMahon convinced Asuka to wait until after Elimination Chamber to make her decision, as Raw Women's Champion Alexa Bliss was scheduled to defend her title in the first ever Women's Elimination Chamber match, and the result may affect Asuka's decision. Asuka was then confronted by Sasha Banks, who spent the longest time in the Royal Rumble match, and Banks challenged Asuka to a match that Asuka won. Banks, along with Bayley, Mandy Rose, Mickie James, and Sonya Deville were announced as the other competitors in the Elimination Chamber match. Nia Jax was also scheduled to face Asuka at Elimination Chamber, where if she were to win, she would be added to the Asuka's Championship match at WrestleMania. On the February 12th episode of Raw, it was announced that Ronda Rousey would sign her Raw contract at Elimination Chamber. Since Shinsuke Nakamura decided to stay on SmackDown to challenge for the WWE Championship at WrestleMania 34, Raw General Manager Kurt Angle scheduled a number 1 Contenders Elimination Chamber match at the namesake event to determine who would face Brock Lesnar for the Universal Championship at WrestleMania. 6 qualification matches were scheduled over the next couple of weeks. Braun Strowman and Kane battled in a last man standing match, which Strowman won to qualify. After the match, Kane was taken to a local hospital. Elias, John Cena, Roman Reigns, Intercontinental Champion The Miz, Finn Balor, and Seth Rollins also qualified, marking the first 7-man Elimination Chamber match. New Raw Tag Team Champions Cesaro, and Sheamus defended their titles against Titus Worldwide, as they had beaten Cesaro and Sheamus 2 weeks in a row prior to the Royal Rumble. Cesaro and Sheamus retained. The following week, Jason Jordan and Seth Rollins were scheduled to have their contractual rematch. But after Jordan was deemed unable to compete, he was replaced by Roman Reigns. Jordan, however, accidentally caused them to be disqualified. On 205 Live, Drake Maverick was appointed as the 205 Live general manager. Maverick announced that there would be a 16-man single elimination tournament to crown a new WWE Cruiserweight champion, with the finals to occur at WrestleMania 34. Brought to you by WikiVidi Documentaries. Would you like to know more?